The late Roman Republic was a period of immense change and upheaval, marked by both progress and turmoil. Years of expansion and conquest had brought great wealth to Rome, but this wealth came at a cost. It also brought deep social and political divisions that threatened the very fabric of Roman society. The Roman Senate, once a symbol of unity and wisdom, was now riven by factionalism and personal ambition. Senators were more interested in their own power and wealth than in the well-being of the Republic. The common people, burdened by taxes and neglected by the ruling class, were ripe for rebellion. They felt the weight of the Republic's expansionist policies and the greed of its leaders. In the east, a new power was rising, the kingdom of Pontus, ruled by the ambitious Mithridates VI. His kingdom was growing stronger, and he saw an opportunity to challenge Rome's dominance. A skilled warrior and shrewd diplomat, Mithridates harbored a deep resentment towards Rome, seeing it as a threat to his own ambitions. He was determined to expand his influence and power at Rome's expense. He exploited Rome's internal weaknesses, forging alliances with its enemies and preparing for the inevitable confrontation. Mithridates was a master of strategy, and he knew how to turn Rome's problems to his advantage. Adding fuel to the fire, Rome's own greed and mismanagement in Asia Minor further inflamed tensions. The region was a powder keg ready to explode. Corrupt Roman officials exploited the local populations, provoking widespread resentment and pushing them into Mithridates' arms. The people of Asia Minor saw Mithridates as a liberator from Roman oppression. The stage was set for a clash of civilizations, one that would test the very foundations of Roman power. This was not just a battle for territory, but a struggle for the future of the ancient world. The First Mithridatic War, beginning in 88 BC, was not just a conflict between two states, but a symptom of a much deeper malaise within Roman society. It was a war that revealed the weaknesses and vulnerabilities of the Roman Republic. It exposed the cracks in the Republic's facade, foreshadowing the civil wars that would soon engulf it. The internal strife and external threats were intertwined, leading to a period of great instability. The conflict would have profound consequences for both Rome and Pontus, shaping the course of history for centuries to come. The legacy of this war would be felt long after the last battle was fought. At the heart of the First Mithridatic War lay a clash of personalities as much as a clash of armies. On one side stood Mithridates Eupator, king of Pontus. He was a ruler of immense ambition and ruthlessness, determined to forge an empire in the east to rival Rome itself. A master strategist and tactician, Mithridates was also a cunning diplomat, adept at exploiting his enemies' weaknesses. Facing him was Lucius Cornelius Sulla, a Roman general of extraordinary talent and ambition. A veteran of numerous campaigns, Sulla was known for his ruthlessness, his strategic brilliance, and his unwavering determination. He represented the traditional Roman aristocracy, fiercely loyal to the Senate and determined to uphold Rome's dominance. The clash between these two men was a clash of ideologies, of ambition, and of sheer force of personality. Mithridates, with his vast resources and burning desire for revenge, posed a formidable threat to Roman power. Sulla, hardened by years of war and driven by a deep sense of duty, was Rome's best hope for survival. Their confrontation would be a battle of wits as much as a battle of arms, a contest between two of the most formidable figures of the ancient world. The outcome would determine not only the fate of the war, but also the future of the Roman Republic itself. The First Mithridatic War was a sprawling conflict, spanning vast distances and encompassing numerous battles both on land and at sea. One of the earliest and most significant engagements was the Battle of Chaeronea in 86 BC. Here, Mithridates' forces, led by the experienced general Archelaus, faced off against a Roman army commanded by the praetor Bruttius Sura. The Battle of Chaeronea was a resounding victory for Mithridates. His forces, a mix of disciplined Pontic infantry and swift cavalry, outmaneuvered and overwhelmed the Romans. Sura's legions, already demoralized and weakened by previous defeats, were routed, and their defeat sent shockwaves through the Roman world. Following his triumph at Chaironea, Mithridates turned his attention towards Athens, a city of immense symbolic and strategic importance. The siege of Athens, lasting from 87 to 86 BC, was a brutal affair. Mithridates' forces, aided by Athenian rebels within the city, bombarded the city walls while Roman defenders, led by Sulla, stubbornly resisted. The siege ended in a costly victory for Mithridates. Though his forces eventually breached the city's defences, Athens was left in ruins, a testament to the brutal realities of ancient warfare. The fall of Athens, a cultural and intellectual centre of the Greek world, sent shockwaves throughout the region, further solidifying Mithridates' image as a powerful, if ruthless, leader. The First Mithridatic War was a clash of contrasting military styles and strategies, a true test of endurance and adaptability for both sides. The Roman army, renowned for its discipline and organization, relied heavily on its legions, formations of heavily armed infantry equipped with the iconic gladius sword and pilum javelin. These soldiers were the backbone of Rome's military might. Roman legions were trained to fight in close order, their discipline and training often proving decisive against less organized foes. The rigorous training regimen ensured that every soldier knew his role and could perform it under the most stressful conditions. Mithridates, on the other hand, commanded a more diverse force, a melting pot of various cultures and fighting styles. While his army included a corps of well-trained Pontic infantry equipped in the Greek style with spears and shields, they were just one part of his multifaceted military machine. He also relied heavily on auxiliary forces drawn from across his vast empire, each bringing their unique skills and tactics to the battlefield. These included skilled horsemen from Thrace and Cappadocia, archers from Crete, and even chariots from the eastern steppes. This diversity allowed Mithridates to be flexible and unpredictable in his strategies. While Roman legions excelled in open battle, their strength lay in their ability to maintain formation and discipline under pressure. Mithridates' forces often employed guerrilla tactics, harassing Roman supply lines, disrupting their logistics, and creating chaos behind enemy lines. Ambushing isolated detachments and exploiting their knowledge of the local terrain, they aimed to weaken the Roman forces gradually. This clash of styles between Roman discipline and Pontic adaptability added another layer of complexity to the conflict, making it a prolonged and grueling war. Despite their initial setbacks, the Romans, under Sulla's leadership, began to adapt to their enemies' tactics. Sulla's strategic acumen played a crucial role in turning the tide. Recognizing the importance of cavalry, Sulla incorporated allied horsemen into his army, enhancing their mobility and striking power. He also employed scorched earth tactics to deny Mithridates' forces supplies, a strategy that proved to be highly effective in the long run. This adaptation, combined with the Roman legion's inherent strengths, would ultimately prove crucial in turning the tide of the war. The resilience and strategic flexibility of the Romans eventually led them to victory. With the military situation turning in Rome's favor and facing mounting pressure on multiple fronts, Mithridates VI was compelled to seek peace. His once formidable forces were now dwindling, and the relentless advance of the Roman legions left him with little choice but to negotiate. This came in the form of the Treaty of Dardanus, signed in 85 BC, which brought the First Mithridatic War to an official end. The treaty was a significant moment in ancient history, marking a pivotal shift in the power dynamics of the region. The treaty, dictated by the victorious Sulla, was undeniably harsh on the defeated king. Sulla's terms were designed to cripple Mithridates' ability to wage war again, ensuring Rome's dominance in the region. Mithridates was forced to relinquish all his conquests in Greece and Asia Minor, surrendering territories he had fought years to acquire. These lands were not just strategic assets, but also symbols of his power and ambition. He was also compelled to hand over his fleet, a significant blow to his power projection capabilities. The loss of his navy meant that Mithridates could no longer challenge Roman supremacy on the seas. To add insult to injury, a hefty indemnity was imposed upon Pontus, further draining its treasury and limiting its ability to recover quickly. This financial burden was a calculated move by Sulla to weaken Mithridates' economic base. While the Treaty of Dardanus brought the First Mithridatic War to a close, it was far from a lasting peace. The terms of the treaty sowed the seeds of future conflict, as the harsh conditions left Mithridates with a burning desire for revenge. The treaty's harsh terms, particularly the loss of territory and the crippling indemnity, left Mithridates humiliated and determined to seek revenge. His resolve to rebuild his forces and challenge Rome again was unwavering. The seeds of future conflict were sown, ensuring that the struggle between Rome and Pontus would continue for years to come. The animosity and unresolved tensions would eventually lead to further wars and bloodshed. For Sulla, the treaty was a triumph, a testament to his military genius and political acumen. His ability to decisively end the war and impose such stringent terms solidified his standing as one of Rome's great leaders. It solidified his reputation as a formidable leader and earned him considerable prestige back in Rome. The Senate and the people of Rome celebrated his victory, viewing it as a significant achievement for the Republic. However, the peace proved to be only a temporary respite from the turmoil that engulfed the late Republic. The underlying issues and rivalries remained unresolved, setting the stage for future conflicts and power struggles.